Hey guys, okay, I'm gonna try to hold it like this horizontally instead of vertically. Maybe that'll help the video go better. I'm not sure. Let me know if you have any opinions about that. Okay, we're doing addition of vectors today. I'm so sorry, I don't have a calculator, so I can't show you how to do it on your calculator, but I can explain how to do it on your calculator. It's actually it's not new what you're doing on your calculator, so hopefully you guys will remember, but if not, just let me know. What you're doing is you're taking word problems and applying it to what we've been learning about sine, cosine, tangent, and vectors and different stuff like that. Okay, so if you're looking at example 63.1, I'm going to read it and then show you how to set it up. Okay. It says flying arrow left the village and traveled 20 miles on a heading of 20 degrees. And you're like, what in the world are you talking about? All you're going to do is draw that somebody went 20 miles going 20 degrees. Okay. Well, that's going to look like this, as if it were like on X and Y. Like that. Okay. Okay, and he went 20 miles. So we need to write that right here. 20 miles. Okay. Then it said from this point, he traveled 40 miles. We don't really care about that from this point thing because we're going to need to draw another vector. That's the whole addition of the vectors thing. From this point, he traveled 40 miles on a heading of 210 degrees. Okay, how do we get to 210? This is 90, this is 180. 210 minus 180 is 30, which means that we have 30 left over here. Bada bing, bada boom. And if you say, Miss Jessica, can't I do 270 minus 210? Then I get 80. Then I get 60. Okay, well, that 60 is going to go here, so you're still going to end up needing to do 90 minus 60 to get 30 right here. So I would stick with the 180, okay? So here you go. You have 30 degrees right here, and that was 40 miles. Okay, how far did he end up from the village? Now you're going to need to add things, okay? You're going to need to find your R and U for both of these vectors and add them up. Okay, and you're like, what are you talking about, Miss Jessica? Look right here. You're going to make a triangle. Make a triangle. This is your R, right? Because it's to the right, and this is your U. We've talked about this before. We've talked about writing it in this form before, so if you need to go back and look up vectors and you're going to find it, or just let me know and I can give you a refresher. This is your R, even though it's to the left, it's going to be a negative number then. And this is your U, and even though it's down, it's going to be a negative number, okay? So here we go. How are we going to find it? Well, this one right here to find U is opposite over hypotenuse. Let's remember these. Sine, cosine, tangent. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. Remember that? SOHCAHTOA. Okay. So when we need to find U, that's going to be opposite over hypotenuse. So you're going to say, for this U, it's going to be sine 20 equals U over 20, right? Sine of this 20 is opposite over hypotenuse. So it's going to be U over 20. So you bring this 20 over here. So that means it's going to be 20 times sine 20. Okay? When you find sine 20 in your calculator, you should get 0.34. You can check that in your book if you need to make sure that it's in the right mode in your calculator. Multiply that by 20, and you're going to get 6.8. So this first R... the first U is going to be 6.8 because it's U. Duh, right? Sorry about that. Okay, now we're going to find R. R is going to be adjacent to the 20. If it's not opposite, it has to be adjacent. So that's going to be cosine. So it's going to be cosine 20 equals R over 20 because it's adjacent over hypotenuse. So you multiply the 20 over here. 20 times cosine 20. Well, cosine 20 is 0.94. 20 times 0.94 is going to give you 18.8, and that's going to be your R. Okay? Then you need to find your R and U of this one. So your R is going to be cosine again. Cosine 30 equals R over 40. So you do 40 times cosine 30. Cosine 30 is going to give you 0.5 times 40 is going to give you 20 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 no, pardon, cosine 30 is going to give you 0.87. Jeepers creepers, sorry about that. Times 40 is going to give you 34.8, but it's going to the left, so it has to be a negative. So guys, remember that. Even if it doesn't come out in your calculator negative, it has to be a negative because you're going left. The u is going to be sine, so we'll do sine 30 equals u over 40, opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, 40 times sine 30. Sine 30 is 0.5 times 40 is 20. That's going to be a negative 20 because it's going down. Okay, so 6.8 times minus 20 is going to give you a 13.2 u. And 18.8 times, minus 34.8 is going to give you a negative 16r. Okay, I believe that we're not done. Let me just check in the book. If that's the answer that they're going to accept. Ooh, it is the answer that they're going to accept. Okay, there we go. So how far did he end up from the village? He ended up negative 16r to negative 13.2 u. Okay, which would be, if they made you draw it, they would tell you. Okay, and if they made you write it in a different form, they should tell you. Like, I believe example 2 is going to make you write it in a different form, and I'll show you why. Okay, so let's do example 2. Okay, here we go, 63.2. It says add 30 angle 55 and 10 angle 170. So first I write them on a graph. 55 is easy, then 170 would be 180. This one minus 170, how much do you have left? You have 10 left over here, okay? Then we're gonna find our r and our u. Okay, that means that, remember, this one's gonna be negative, okay? Then we're gonna add those together. We're gonna do the same process we did before to find them. So I'm not gonna go over that process again, I'm just gonna read them to you. Your r is gonna be a cosine. Cosine 55 equals r over 30, okay? This one's going to be your sine. Sine 55 equals u over 30. You should end up getting your, let's do it, r and u, r and u. Your r on this one should be 17.2073. Your u on this one should be 24.5746, okay? Then over here, you're going to do for the r, cosine 10 equals r over 10. Then for the u, sine 10 equals u over 10. You should end up getting for your r negative 9.8481 and positive for your u 1.7365, okay? You add those up and you should get 7.3592r plus 26.311u. Okay, when they say to add the vectors, now you're going to have to put it into the form that they gave it to you. How are you going to do that? You're going to draw, one more vector. You're going to go 7.359 to the right, 92. And you're going to go up 26.311. And you're saying, Miss Jessica, how do we know that we're supposed to put it into this form? When they give it to you in this form, you have to put it back in that form, so you're going to have to do this extra step. And the last one, they gave it to you in the R and U form. They didn't give it to you in any form, honestly. And so you can leave it with the R and the U. Okay? So what are you going to do here? You're going to go 7.3592. A squared plus B squared equals your C squared. So when you do that, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. You're going to end up with your C to be 27.32. Okay? So this will be 27.32. Because remember, you do this squared plus this squared. When you find that answer, you take the square root of it, and you're going to get 27.32. Now, how are you going to find this angle? You can do a multitude of things, but what I would do is tangent. Tangent x equals opposite over adjacent. 26.311 over 7.3592. Okay, whatever you get for that, you're going to get 3.575. what are you going to do? You're going to do shift tan. Shift tan in your calculator. Shift tan, that's the tan, it looks like this, I think, something like that. Shift tan equals shift tan 3.575, and your answer should come out to be 74.37 degrees, okay? So then your answer is going to be 27.32 angle 74.37 degrees. Okay, your example is literally just like, your practice is literally just like example 1. So I am not going to do that one because my parents are waiting for me to go to dinner. So if you guys need any help on this lesson, just let me know and I'll be available when you are doing it. Thanks, bye.